Welcome student, I am Professor Sunil Chinte. In these sessions, we are going to discuss the topic that is the server side includes, okay, then request forwarding and the servlet chain. Okay, these are the topics, okay, concerned with the servlets of our unit number 3. We have to see each and every topics in details, okay, that is the server side include, request forwarding and the servlet chainings. Okay, let's see what is by server side includes. Okay, as you know that any website contain the pages, or we can say the website is built by using the HTML pages. Okay, means the user, the client interface with the website or the web page, okay, that is designed by using the HTML language. Okay, every websites have the fixed appearance format, just as the website contain the pages with the similar footers and the similar headers. If the website have the 20 pages, that times the 20 pages, okay, will have the similar footers and the similar headers. Okay, for that purpose the designer will use the HTML code to design the header and the footers, and same code will use in every pages. Okay, so repeated code will be used. Okay, same code will be used in every HTML page. So to avoid that, we use the different concepts. Okay, to for the formatting purpose, we use the cascading style sheet. We use the cascading style sheets or other concepts that can add the similar appearance in every pages, okay, by using the concept that is called as a cascading style sheets. The same concepts can be implemented by using the server side includes. Okay, so let's see what is by server side includes. Okay, the server side includes, that is indicated by SSIS, allows to embedded servlets call in a HTML files by using the specific tag that is called as a servlet tags. Means by using the SSI, okay, the programmer can call the servlet in a HTML files. Means you can embed the servlet call in a HTML file. As you know that the servlet is the server side programs that is execute on a servers, okay, that enhance the capability of the servers. Okay, मीन्स सर्वर जो भी सर्वलेट जो भी है सर्वर पे एग्जीक्यूट होता है. For that purpose we need the different servers such as the Apache Tomcat servers, and it enhance the server capacity. It can create the dynamic web page. Okay, means by using the SSI you can call the servlet in a HTML file by using this special tag that is the servlet. The file that call the servlet that is served with the extension that is called as HTML. Okay, as you know every HTML file is served with the extension that is the HTML. But if you include the tags that will call the servlet in your HTML file, that time we save that file as HTML. Okay, when we save the file with this extension, with the extension that is the as HTML, that times the server, these extensions indicate to the server that this HTML document contain the SSI directories. Okay, that is called as the server side include directories, and therefore should be passed to the specialized servlet for the processing. Okay, what is the meaning of this files? Whenever we save the file with the extension that is called as HTML, okay, these extensions indicate or provide the information to the server that this file contain a specialized directive, that is called the SSI directive. That's why it is forwarded to the specialized servlet, that is called as the SSI servlet for the processing purpose. Okay. The servlet called SSI includes servlet. Okay. This servlet called SSI includes servlet when using the Java web servers and pass HTML document for searching the servlet tags. Okay. Means HTML file is passed for the searching of HTML servlet tags. Okay, here the servlet tags contain or when the servlet tags encounter the SSI include servlet, load the servlet, specify the servlet tags. Okay, whenever the servlet tag is encountered, the SSI include load the specified servlet, that is specified by the servlet tags. Execute it, okay, execute it, then include the servlet's output in a HTML page returned to the clients. Okay, means whenever the servlet tag is encountered, okay, the servlet SSI include servlet, load the servlet, execute the servlets and put the output, okay, in the HTML page and return to the client. So this is the procedure when servlet tag is encountered. Okay, the sequence of server side include process. Okay, these are the some steps. Okay, whenever the server tags is encountered. Okay, first step is server receive a request for the file with the extension, that is called the as HTML. Okay, whenever server receive the request for the file with the extension, that is called the as HTML. When we use the extension HTML, whenever the HTML file include a SSI directives. Okay, the Java enabled server maps all as HTML फाइल्स. ओके, जो भी जावा एनेबल सर्वर है वो क्या करेगा, वेन एवर द रिक्वेस्ट इज फॉर द HTML files, the Java enabled server will map to the all file with the extension to the HTMLs. Okay, when using the Java web server, the client's request for the index.html is passed to the SSI include server for the processing. Okay, means whenever the request for the file with the extensions, that is called the HTMLs, okay, is passed to the SSI include servlet for the processing. Okay, means it is passed to the SSI include servlet for the processing. Okay, next step is the SSI include servlet pass the request, okay, HTML document for searching the servlet tags. Okay, means SSI include servlet pass the request, okay, the HTML document for the searching of a special tag, that is called as the servlet. Okay, when the servlet tag is located or when the servlet tag is found, okay, SSI include servlet first read any initialization parameters. Okay, it will read the initialization parameter if there is available, and then load the servlet referred by that tags. Okay, means क्या होगा, whenever the SSI servlet read, okay, the servlet tags, okay, it will first read the parameters and load the servlet that is referred by their tags. Okay, it then reads any parameters included in the tags and pass them to the specified servlets. Okay, next step is the servlet specified by the servlet tags, okay, generates data that is included in an HTML पेज रिटर्न टू द क्लाइंट essentially. इसके बाद क्या आता है, नेक्स्ट स्टेप इज the servlet specify the servlet tags that generate the data and is added in a HTML files that is returned to the clients. Okay, means the data is included that is processed by the servlets. Okay, so these are stages or the process when the request is for the file with the extension that is called the as HTML. Okay, here is the file, okay, that is called as a as HTML file with the syntax that is the servlets. Okay, servlet tags. These servlet tags contain different subtags with the attributes, with its attribute. The servlet tags, okay, having the sub attribute that is the servlet names, okay, that specify the servlet name. Then the code attributes, okay, this is the name attribute, code base attributes, okay, initial parameters, okay, initial parameter 2. So name, that is the name of servlet, code, the name of servlet class. Here the code is nothing but a name of servlet class, and code base is the exact URL of your servlets. Okay, the parameters that is having the values, similarly the parameters names, okay, and its values, okay, that is the pair values. So this is the servlet tags, okay, with the sub tags like the servlets with the specified attribute that is the name, code base, okay. So with another parameter that is the another tags that is the parameters, okay, with the attribute names. The servlet tags can be referred by using alias names or the class names. Okay, means the servlets, the actual servlets can be referred or can be referenced by using its alias name or the class names. Okay, means we cannot directly interact with the actual servlet. It can be referred by its alias name or the class name. To specify servlet by the alias names, we use the name attributes, or to refer the servlet by using class name, we use the code attributes. Okay, if you want to refer the servlet by using the names, that times we use the name attributes. Okay, alias name से अगर आपको उसको refer करना है तो that time we use the name attributes. If by using the class name, that time we use the code attribute, code base attribute. It is the optional attribute. Code base attributes of the servlet is the optional attributes, but useful if the servlet must be loaded from the remote locations. Okay, so code base attribute is the optional, but it is the useful when the servlet is loaded from the remote locations. Okay, so this is all about the servlet tag. Here is the example. Okay, here is the example that demonstrate the server side includes. Okay, so here one simple example with the servlet that will add the header to the websites. Okay, that's why I have given the servlet class name as the header servlet that have been extended by using the HTTP servlet class. Okay, so for that purpose we have to import the java.servlet.http package. Okay, here we are using the service methods. The service methods, okay, takes two arguments, that is the HTTP request object and the HTTP servlet response object. Okay, and it also generate the exceptions. Okay, we are setting the content types by using the set content types method of the response. Okay, here the object of print writer is created by using the getWriter method. So we can put the output on the browsers. Okay, we use the instance of out with the methods that will be printed, that will write the contents. Okay, so by using this syntax we are creating here the header. This is the first servlet that will create the header with the name CMCS, with the name CSS. Okay, this is the servlet that will create the header for our website. Second servlet, that is the footer servlet, that will create the footer for the servlet that will display all right result. Okay, this is the information that will provide by using these servlets. Okay, so similar footer servlet is created, or we are creating the footer servlet by using the HTTP servlet class. Here we also use the same method, that is the service method, and I already told you service method takes two arguments, that is the HTTP servlet request and the HTTP servlet response object. Okay, it also throws the exceptions, that is the servlet exceptions or IO exceptions. Okay, for the writing purpose we use the print writer output stream classes. Okay, so this is the things through which we can create and embedded the file in a XHTML files. Okay, so this is all about your your server side includes. Okay, now the next topic, that is called the request dispatcher output. This is the second topic that we have to discuss, okay, in this lecture, that is the request dispatcher object. Okay, Servlet API 2.1, okay, request dispatcher object allow you to forward request to include output from the another server's resources. Means request dispatcher object allows the programmers or you to forward the request, that the request dispatcher allows to forward the request to include the output from the another server resources. Okay, it includes only two methods. Okay, request dispatchers have the two methods, that is the forward methods and the includes methods. Okay, means we by using the request dispatcher we forward the request to include the output from the another resources. Means we can forward the request from one servlet to another servlet. It has the two methods, that is the forward and the include. Okay, request dispatcher is a Java interface. This request dispatcher is nothing. Dispatcher is a interface. Okay, an object that implement this interface can acquire using the get request dispatcher method of servlet context. Means we are implementing this request dispatcher by using the get request dispatcher method of servlet context class. Okay, here is the syntax how we can instantiate the request dispatchers. Okay, means we are creating the object of request dispatcher by using the get request method. Okay, get request dispatcher method of a servlet context. Okay, so that's why this is the syntax, that is the request dispatcher. Okay, request dispatcher, that we are creating the instance RD equals to context dot get request dispatcher method. Okay, with one argument, that is the URL. Okay, this method takes one argument, that is the URL. Okay, so what is in by URL here? Okay, get request dispatcher method accept the URL that designate the server resources to which this request will be forward. मुझे आपकी जो भी रिक्वेस्ट है कहाँ पे फॉरवर्ड करना है, और फ्रॉम विच द कंटेंट विल बी रीड, और फ्रॉम वेयर द कंटेंट विल बी रीड. मीन्स यूआरएल क्या स्पेसिफाई करता है वेयर द रिक्वेस्ट हैज टू बी सेंड और फ्रॉम वेयर द कंटेंट हैज टू बी रीड, दैट स्पेसिफाइड बाय द URLs. मीन्स द गेट रिक्वेस्ट डिस्पैचर मेथड of the servlet context class takes one argument, that is the URL, and URL क्या specify करता है? The server resources to which the request will be forwarded, okay, and the content, or we can read the contents, okay, from the specified URLs, okay. Now we have to see the methods, that is the forwards and the include method of the request dispatchers. So what is the forward method? This method of a request dispatchers object allow to programmatically forward the request to the another servers. If you want to forward the request from one servlet to another servers, okay, if you want to forward the request from one server to one servlet to another servlet, that times we use the forward method. Suppose one servlet, that is the add servlet, and another servlet, that is the multiply servlet with the name multiply servlet. The first servlet is the add servlet. If we are performing one addition logic in the add servlet and the result is passed to the another servlet, that is the multiplication servlet, where the square is obtained or the multiplication is obtained of the results. So the result after addition is forwarded to the another servlets by using these forward methods. Okay, these forward methods takes two arguments, that is the request and response. Okay, this is the actually abstract method that we have to implement. Okay, so this is the abstract methods that takes two arguments, that is the request and response. Okay, so this is the all about the forward methods. The next method of the request dispatcher, that is called the include method. This method of the request dispatchers object allow to programmatically include the content generated by the another servlet within the body of calling servlet response. Okay, means we can add the content that is generated by the another servlet by using the include methods. Okay, means if you want to add the content the generated by the servlet, that times we use the include method. This is the syntax. Okay, this is also abstract method that you have to implement. Okay, and it takes the arguments, that is the request and the response, okay, of a servlet request class and the servlet response class. Okay, so this is all about the request dispatchers. Okay, so what is the use of request dispatcher? If you want to forward the request from one servlet to another servlet, that times we use this request dispatchers class, okay, or the techniques. Next, the important concept is the servlet chaining. Okay, so it is similar, the things that we will use the output of one servlet to the another servlet. ओके, तो सर्वलेट चेनिंग में क्या होता है कि आउटपुट ऑफ फर्स्ट और द वन सर्वलेट इज गिवन टू द अनदर सर्वलेट चेन, दैट विल फॉर्म द चेन. ओके, द सर्वलेट चेनिंग इज द प्रोसेस ऑफ passing the output of one servlet to the another servlet. Here you will find here the clients send the request to the servers. Okay, the server, okay, call the specific servlets for the processing the request, but the requested servlet will not give the response to the clients, but it will pass the data or the output, okay, to the next servlet. Means it will call the next servlet. In this way the next servlet will gives the output to the another servlet in this way, but the last servlet will send the response to the clients. So this is nothing but a chaining process. Okay, so let's see what is meant by servlet chaining. Okay, the servlet chaining is the process of passing the output of one servlet to the input of the another servlet. Means we are providing the output of one servlet is the input for the another servlet. Working of servlet chaining as follows. How the servlet chaining is works. Okay. The client request is sent to the first servlet. Okay. Means the clients will request, okay, for the first servlet. Okay, in the chain. Once the request has been processed by the first, it is passed its output to the next servlet. Okay, means whenever client request for the first servlet, okay, to the server, the servlet process that request. Okay, after processing the request, it will generate some outputs. The output is passed to the next servlet. Means this process next servlet as a input. This process continues throughout any number of servlet until the servlet output is returned to the clients. Okay, तो ये जो प्रोसेस है ये कंटिन्यूस चलती रहेंगी. कब तक चलती रहेंगी? जब तक जो सर्वलेट्स है वो क्लाइंट को रिस्पांस नहीं रिटर्न करता है. ओके, मीन्स टिल द लास्ट servlet that will not or that will send the response to the clients. The get input stream method of the HTTP servlet can be used to read the previous servlet's outputs. Means we use here the get input stream methods. Okay, that will read the data from the previous servlets. Okay, so this is the diagrams. Okay, this is the diagrams through which we can understand the servlet chaining concept. Okay, here is the clients or the user will send the request for the servlets. Okay, but the servlets are in a chain, so the request is processed by the first servlets. जो भी रिक्वेस्ट सेंड की है क्लाइंट्स ने वो कौन प्रोसेस करेगा? फर्स्ट सर्वलेट प्रोसेस करेगा. आफ्टर प्रोसेसिंग the request, it will generate the output, and this output is given as an input to the next servlet. This process will continue, okay, till the last servlet will return the response to the client. So this is all about the servlet chaining. Okay, this is all about the servlet chaining. So in today's session we had discussed the server side includes. Okay, next is the request forwarding, that is for the by using the forward methods and the include methods, and the third is the servlet chainings. Okay, so server side includes, by using the server side includes we can call the servlets in a HTML file. So we preserve that files with the names, or we save that files with the name as HTML extension. Whenever the file with the HTML, it indicates that it have the specific tags, that is called as the servlet tags, or the directive, that is called as the SSI directives. Okay, next is the request dispatcher object. Okay, this request dispatcher object contain two methods, that is called as the forward methods and the include method. Forward method is used to send the request to the another servlets. Okay, and the include or add the output of the servlet. Okay, so these request dispatcher methods have the two methods, that is the forward methods and the include methods. Okay, servlet chaining is the process of passing output of one servlet to the another servlet. So this is the contents that we have already discussed in this session. Thank you, student.